I want to thank our president, Bill Scoggins, and our vice president of student life, Dr. Dan Fox, and our director of athletics, Tom Spicer, for taking us forward with the program. We've had some success over the last 10, 12 years, and sometimes you can get complacent and think with what we're doing, we're okay. You know, we just secured the funding for a $19 million football complex, which we're going to put in. We're going to start building that in the next 6 months, and this will be the last season of our stadium. And it's something that we really needed. It's not just going to be a stadium, it's going to be a football complex, which will have meeting rooms, locker rooms, offices, all that underneath our stadium. This is what we need to take our program to the next level. And I thank those people for keeping that going and getting the funding. But the reason this is happening is because of our players. And these guys aren't going to get to play in that stadium, but they're the reason it's going to happen. If you don't win, you don't build stadiums. And I've got Taylor Carty here, our punter, and these guys are all seniors, and he's out of Dakota Ridge High School, and I got Nate Behrens out of Ponderosa High School, our offensive lineman, and Henry Ketzer out of Spring, Texas, and Klein High School, and Dan Palmer out of University High up in Greeley, and four great seniors that really looking forward to getting back with. It's hard to not be with those guys all summer, and they're a lot of fun. And that's something special about this football team this year is the group is really a lot of fun to be around. We worked very hard in the off season to work on team chemistry. We've got 14 seniors that they're all very good players and good leaders and care about the football team. And I think that you can kind of predict how you're going to do as a football program by looking at your senior class. If you don't have chemistry and you don't have leadership, you will struggle. And this is as good a group as we've had for a long time, and the chemistry may be the best we've had. So really looking forward to the end of this week to get these guys back and get them rolling, and really proud of what these guys have done up to this point. When you talk about our football team, you basically, you take out Clay Garcia, which people talked about a lot in the last couple of years, and you take out Alex Vigil on defense and Bumi Adetutu, it's the same group. We got 19 starters back. People didn't realize how young we were last year. We were young and we got beat up early. So we were kind of piecing it together as we went, and pretty proud of winning 8 games with all the adversity that we had to go through, and really had to change our philosophy offensively as we went because we just didn't have the guys that we thought we were going to have. When you lose your best player, Cody Rankin, in the first quarter of the first game, with a broken leg, things are going to change. And everything that we had planned on offensively was geared around Cody. And then all of a sudden you get that taken away. We get a couple of old linemen banged up, and Doucette gets banged up at receiver, and Clay separates his shoulder in the third quarter of the first game, which nobody knew about, which he could barely lift his throwing arm, after the first game, and somehow he did it. He's the toughest kid I've ever coached, So now where are we at? Well, it's the same team. You plug in Matt Brown at quarterback, and Matt is a competitive kid. We were at Western New Mexico trying to figure out how we were going to make a first down, and we couldn't get anybody off the line of scrimmage. We were getting blitzed, and we were getting man coverage, and Matt was standing next to me as our backup quarterback, and I said, "Can you get open?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I sent him in. He hadn't practiced it. He had 117 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns when we win the ball game. What a competitive kid. He went on to start 7 games and had 48 catches. So has he started at quarterback? No, but he's been in the fire. He knows what it's about, and he wants to be good, and he gets it. And very good leadership skills as a young kid, just going into his sophomore year. You're going to hear a lot about Matt Brown in the next 3 years. But he's not going to have to do it all because he's got such a great supporting cast. And John was talking about the offensive line. We're back with a really good crew. We got 5 starters on the offensive line. We lost a senior, but we get Adam Seibel back that started 13 games for us 2 years ago that had a medical redshirt. So we got 4 guys back plus Adam, and we're going to bump Nate over to right tackle, which was his original spot. We had to move him around because of injuries, and we got Ben Dellenbach at left tackle that started most of the season there. Ian Smith, one of the best centers we've ever had in our program. And Cy will play right guard, and Joe Purfold will be left guard. Got great size, and those kids, our strength coaches told me that the offensive line has had a great summer, and really looking forward to seeing them get after it. And then behind them we got Dan Palmer, third 1,000-yard rusher in the history of Mines football, coming back, and has had a great summer working out. And I heard through the grapevine he just tipped the scales at what, 252? Yeah, so he's a load coming downhill. And we got Zach Noonan at fullback. That's really a physical guy. I love to get in the two-back stuff with those guys and run downhill. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You know, offensively, getting Cody back was huge. And Cody's a guy that you need to get the ball in his hands a ton. Plan to do that. We're going to put him back in the slot, move Diamond over to the outside receiver position, and we'll also have Gerard Doucette, that's played for 4 years, started for 4 years at the outside receiver position, and we'll get Jordan Ward in there, and Eric Shannon. We've got some depth. By having the injuries, we had to force some guys in there, and we've got some depth, I think, finally at receiver. You know, you knock on wood. But feel good about that side of the ball. And then David Pavelic will be our inside receiver at H and at tight end. And David caught 56 balls for us and was a second leading receiver. And really an athletic, physical, fast guy for a tight end position, and how big he is. Flipping to the defensive side, you know, really feel great about that. Coach Benson has done a fantastic job of picking up our level of defense, and I'll have to make the statement that he is the second best coach in their family. His wife is in London right now. She coaches a world champion miler, and Jenny Simpson will be, she's running today or tomorrow, and so Coach Benson has been on vacation at the Olympics for about 10 days. We'll get him back on Wednesday right before camp starts, but we do tease him about being the second best coach in the family. But he's done a fantastic job. Front three are back. You know, Frazier, Utley, and Zimmerman are back. Tyler Denson and Alex Laudenschlager at inside back. We got Henry Ketzer at outside linebacker. We're going to have to fill the other outside linebacker spot. Got a couple of young suspects I really like at that position. I'm not going to talk about them until they do something, but I think you're going to hear about those guys. In the secondary, we've got two really nice safeties, Ryan Woods and Jared McKay. Ian McFadden's back at corner. We'll have to find another corner. And, you know, we've got a couple guys there that played pretty well in the spring. You know, we're in great shape at the punter position. Taylor led the nation last year, and I think he was second in the nation the year before. And, you know, the issue that we have, and I hope it's an issue, was we could never get him in the national statistics because he didn't have enough punts. We got to get him at least 1.8 punts a game, and there was a couple games he didn't play. You know, so that's a good thing because the offense was rolling a little bit, and we never punted. But a new kicker, freshman kicker, Avery Llewellyn, freshman. He redshirted last year. Thought he was going to play last year, and Colin Baker came in and was healthy, so we played him and redshirted Avery. So we're excited about that, and the return stuff is going to be fantastic because of having Cody Rankin back. And Diamond did some good things in returns, and Gerard Doucette's a good return man. Tevin Champagne is another great kick returner that we also can use in our three-back set, and Tevin had a great year also. So it's the same team over again. We're excited about it. It's the last time we had a team like this that most of the guys came back was in 04, and we had a pretty good year that year. So you know, like everybody says, we're all excited right now, but we got to put it together, and things can change pretty quickly if you get banged up a little bit. But in the RMAC, you got to stay healthy. If you stay healthy in the RMAC, you're going to have a chance to do some things and do some things in the playoffs. And I think the league's stronger than it's ever been. It was a lot of fun last year because week in, week out, somebody could beat somebody, you know, and it wasn't a preseason thing where you knew these two teams were going to do it. You know, anybody could beat anybody, and that makes it fun. But looking forward for the first game, we have William Jewell College out of Liberty, Missouri, coming in for our first home game, and just getting ready to roll here Thursday night. Thank you.